everybody, welcome to Season 2, Episode 9 of Anchor News Now. I'm Chloe Beckler.
And I'm Jackson Reese. Last Friday, the Shoremen took on Fremont Ross at home and won big, 40-14. This win advances the Shoremen onto the second round of playoffs. Anthony Benedict scored 3 touchdowns for the Shoremen and finished with 179 rushing yards. Additionally, Derek McCrum caught an impressive 19-yard touchdown. Meanwhile, the Shoremen defense continued to impress, holding the Little Giants to little offensive success in just 6 first downs. Good job, Shoremen, and good luck in round 2 of playoffs as you make your way up to Toledo to defeat the Anthony Wayne Generals.
The Avon Lake High School National Honor Society inducted a new cohort last month during an evening ceremony in front of proud parents, teachers, and school administrators. Students who are selected for National Honor Society represent the top students in the high school across 4 categories: leadership, service, character, and scholarship. Congratulations to all students who are recognized for their hard work.
A community forum was recently held at Avon Lake Public Library to provide information and answer questions regarding the $170 million bond issue to potentially build 3 new schools. At the meeting, school board members and other administrators addressed concerns and provided insight as to why it's time to pass the bond. The $7.6 million 37-year bond issue would ultimately result in 2 new elementary schools, a new middle school, and extensive renovations to the high school. Voting takes place on Tuesday, November 7th.
The high school orchestra threw a fantastic fall festival full of fall-like activities for family and friends. There are many fun things to do, such as face painting, raffles, and even petting zoos for instruments. The event raised critical funding towards sustaining the exceptional music program for years to come. So come along next year to support this great cause while you sip on some warm apple cider and munch on some popcorn. The Avon Lake High School Orchestra had a fall festival with all types of spooky activities to do. There was face painting, apple cider, raffles, and even a petting zoo for instruments. Come next year to see all of the thrilling activities for you and your family to interact with.
Welcome back to Week in Tech, where this week we aren't at some crummy old table anymore. Now, we're in the future. Speaking of the future, here's our first piece of news. Apple, the company known for making that cool titanium brick, has apparently gotten all of its executives to prepare themselves to spend billions of dollars soon on making a move on AI. This includes a major change to the AI assistant that we know and definitely love, Siri. Apple is currently working on a large language model similar to ChatGPT that would work with iOS and macOS operating systems to convert Siri from a sad internet search engine into a powerful titan among the gods of AI. However, Apple, for some reason, believes they can take their time with this and that there isn't really a need to strike when the iron is hot. Many people would probably disagree with this, but Apple seems to believe that it won't be too far behind. We will likely find out more closer to Apple's next keynote early next year. Microsoft and Xbox now own Activision and Blizzard, the creators of Call of Duty, Overwatch, Diablo, and many other popular and beloved series. They've become a part of the latest group of acquisitions by Microsoft. This acquisition was announced last year and was met with a lot of scrutiny by countries and consuls who believe that Microsoft and Xbox were planning a monopoly. Thankfully, Microsoft soothed all their souls with the sweet sounds of deals to bring Call of Duty to the Nintendo Switch and other cloud platforms, and promising to bring Call of Duty to PlayStation for at least the next 10 years. The FTC still hasn't given up the fight, and now that the acquisition has gone through, which now makes it unclear what their actual goal is, do they want them to unacquire Activision? And PlayStation simply refused to accept any deals from the low-down scum that is Xbox. But as a nice conclusion to this, in the coming months, numerous Activision and Blizzard games will be added to Game Pass, so you don't have to worry about spending $70 a year on a different coat of paint. Now you're spending $216 a year for it, but hey, you get to play Starfield. Speaking of Xbox, Forza Motorsport, the new game in the Forza series, launched to the acclaim of meh. I played it and thought the graphics were nice, but the overall racing gameplay was honestly just kind of meh. Though the problems with Motorsport go a little deeper than just the actual gameplay itself. There's numerous reports of it not running well on the more affordable Xbox Series S, and even poor performance on high-end PCs, which should be able to run it well, but frequently run into stuttering and crashing across the board. It's quite the shame, seeing as this game has been hyped up for quite a while and was looking to be one of the best Forza games, but ultimately it lacked a lot of the things that even its spin-off Forza Horizon has, and even the customizability of the previous Forza Motorsport games. Overall, it's pretty disappointing for the wait that fans of the series had to go through, considering it's overshadowed by a game created in 2021, Forza Horizon 5. Big news, India plans to build its own space station by 2035. The Prime Minister has said that it will serve as a base for a mission around 2040, where 3 astronauts will conduct the first orbital flight using Indian-made space technology. Beforehand, however, they plan to conduct 20 different major tests and 3 unmanned expeditions to the space station to prove the space station itself is safe. And finally, a long-awaited feature has finally started to arrive to ChatGPT. ChatGPT can now browse the web for information, allowing it to update its personal data bank of information. Beforehand, the AI could only access information from before September of 2021, but now it's able to find data from all over the internet. This comes as a part of a partnership between OpenAI and Microsoft, who has integrated it with Bing. Oh boy. To allow it to search the web and grab information from websites to improve its accuracy. No longer is it shackled by its data set. It's now been free. It will come for us all. It's not Halloween anymore. Either way, come back next time for the probable Christmas special of tech, where we find Santa Claus has made an AI decide if kids are naughty and nice, so he doesn't have to. Goodbye.
Next, we have another episode of Talking X's and O's, a segment featuring our tremendous Avon Lake High School coaches.
This week, we got a chance to interview one of the Shoreman boys soccer coaches before wrapping up their season. They had an impressive season, and their coach gave us a little insight on what it took for them to have the season that they did.
Without further delay, here's Talking X's and O's with our sports analyst, Tyler Burke.
Lake T Apparel is your one-stop shop for everything Avon Lake. Locally owned with customizable items. They carry the largest variety of Avon Lake themed clothing in town, with everything from hoodies to coffee mugs. They are also now the exclusive home of the newly created Sandy Shore Gal. Open from 10 to 3 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday and can be located at 150 Lear Road. So go and give them a look for all your Avon Lake gear.
Welcome back. We're here with another episode of Talking X's and O's. Today we're here with Coach Reutter for the Avon Lake boys soccer team. Coach, good to be with you.
Thanks for having me.
First question is, what were some of the goals heading into the season?
Every season our goals are win the SWC and then go as far as we can in postseason, hopefully get a district championship and go from there. So it's kind of rinse and repeat. We've had some good returning players, so we thought we had pretty good chances for both those goals this year.
Mm-hmm. And how have they been looking?
North Ridgeville had an amazing season in the SWC, so we weren't able to get the SWC championship. That, along with some injuries at always the worst possible times. But now going into the postseason, I think we're set up to make a competitive run for our district and go beyond there if we can.
Yeah, and while the team did not win the SWCs, you guys still did have a very impressive season, beating some pretty good teams. And so how important is it to keep the players motivated for a potential long run in the playoffs?
Oh, it's constant. I mean, you guys know, being athletes, the regular season goes on forever, and then there's that second season at the end, or at least it feels like it goes on forever. So keeping people healthy, keeping people motivated is a constant, especially once the weather starts to turn. It's no fun practicing in the cold and rain, and then games in cold and rain. So, you know, just doing what we can to keep them focused, give them time off occasionally to recover and get healthy. So I think we're set up for a run here in the postseason.
Mm-hmm. And who do you think to look to when you think like you need a team motivated or anything like that?
Oh, I mean, most years it's the seniors, and this year isn't any different. We have a core of 6 seniors that are captains leading our team. Nick Homolka, Rylan, Clay in goal. You know, it's all 3 of those guys are on the field on a regular basis and really pushing our team, being vocal leaders, but also just with their actions as well. You know, they're good students, they're good athletes. They're you know, they show up to practice, they come ready to participate. So you know, we've had a good group of seniors, Jasek and Nate and even Caden, you know, just being there to push the players forward.
And do you think that that's what sets you guys apart, or is it something else that sets you guys apart from these other teams?
Yeah, no, I think it is. That's what set us apart. You know, it's every year when we're lucky to have the quality of players that we have, to have some senior leaders that aren't just leaders because they're seniors, right? There's always those athletes that think that just because they're a senior, they deserve something, but these young men have earned that right. And so that's to have that for the younger players to look up to and to learn from, you know, especially these freshmen. You know, they'll probably remember who their senior captain was when they were freshman year up when they're seniors, right? So they're going to be better leaders because of these players being ahead of them.
Yeah, definitely. And that wraps up our segment of Talking X's and O's, sponsored by Lake T Apparel.
After that snow earlier this week, it's probably time to get back into the fall mood.
Definitely. I'm not sure I'm ready for several months of freezing temperatures yet.
Today we'll join Amanda, Mackenzie, and Chloe for a festive fall treat, a pumpkin pie.
Welcome to Baking with Babes. I'm Amanda Duffy.
I'm Kenzie DeBan.
I'm Chloe Beckler.
And today we're making a
Cake.
Pumpkin pie.
We're making a pumpkin pie. So let's get right into this pie. We're first going to start off with opening these cans with this really tiny can opener. Tupperware container. Pour the pumpkin in, the whole can of pumpkin with the whole can of evaporated milk. We'll put it in after the eggs.
Oh, I'm cracking eggs.
Yes, we're cracking the eggs. Now we're dumping the sugar into the mix.
1.5 teaspoon of cinnamon, pumpkin spice.
This is a half teaspoon of salt.
Now we're gonna whisk the mix.
This is really coming along. For here, we have our graham cracker crust. We have to open this up.
Since we are all done with the filling, we're gonna pour it into the graham cracker crust.
The pie was a bit runny, so we had to be very careful taking it down to the oven. We made sure the oven was preheated to 350 degrees, and although we were unsure of the outcome, we waited 45 minutes patiently for the pie to be done. After the 40 to 50 minutes, the pie should be done.
We put it in for an extra 15 minutes.
We might have done something wrong, but hopefully you can do it a lot better than we did. Now we're going to enjoy this cake.
All right, let's try it.
Cheers. Tastes like pumpkin pie.
It's really good.
That's all for episode 9, and we are now officially into quarter 2 of the first semester.
Wow. It's hard to believe, but don't worry, there will be a whole new batch of content on Anchor News now.
That's right, and to stay up on all the latest from our crew, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. For Anchor News Now, I'm Jackson Reith.
And I'm Chloe Beckler. See you next time.